Hey everyone, I'm Hiro. Welcome back to the CISA exam prep series. Today, we are on section 5, Audit Project Execution. Imagine an auditor who just starts digging. No clear plan, no defined scope, no timeline. What happens? The scope keeps expanding. Deadlines get blown, and the final report quality suffers. Now flip that. When you treat an audit like a project, with a clear scope, a timeline, and a rule that any changes need approval, and you deliver a high-quality report on time. That's the goal, a high-quality audit report, within time and budget. Let's look at how to get there. 6 steps of audit execution. Audit execution follows 6 standard steps. Let's walk through each one. Step 1. Define the audit objective. This sounds obvious, but it's critical. You need to be clear on what you are auditing and why, because every decision downstream flows from this. A vague objective leads to a vague audit. Step 2. Set the scope. Draw a clear boundary, not the whole system, but something specific like source code changes in the past 12 months. The tighter the boundary, the better. Step 3. Pre-survey and resource planning. You interview the auditee to understand the current state, estimate the effort, and assign people with the right skills. Step 4. Build the audit program. Your step-by-step test playbook, detailed enough that any team member can follow it consistently. Step 5. Execute tests and gather evidence. The actual fieldwork will cover the 2 types of testing next. Step 6. Evaluate and report. Analyze everything you've collected, draw conclusions, and deliver the audit report to management. The enemy, scope creep. The biggest threat to a well-run audit is scope creep. It starts innocently. You are auditing one area, you spot something suspicious elsewhere, and you think, let's also check this while we are at it. That happens once, then again. Before you know it, you're way beyond the original plan. Budget overrun, deadline missed. The rule has no exceptions. Any scope change requires approval before you proceed. Stop. Report the new finding. Get sign-off from management or the audit sponsor. Only then continue. The reason this is so strict is that every scope expansion has a cost. Approval forces that cost to be acknowledged before you commit it. 2 types of testing. Step 5 involves 2 types of testing, and understanding how to use them together is key. First, the compliance test. Did they follow the rules? You are checking whether controls are actually working as designed. For example, does every change request have a manager's approval signature? Run this first. Second, the substantive test. Is the data actually correct? You are verifying the accuracy and completeness of the data itself. For example, does the updated code actually calculate the right result? Here's the CISA relationship. Strong controls, you trust them. Less substantive testing needed. Weak controls, you can't rely on them. Test everything directly. Audit working papers. Everything the auditor does, every test, every finding, every piece of evidence must be recorded in audit working papers. The rule is blunt. If it isn't documented, it didn't happen. From a professional and legal standpoint, an undocumented action simply does not exist. What goes in? Every step you took, every finding you made, every piece of evidence you collected. Nothing gets left out, and the standard those papers must meet. Another auditor, someone who wasn't there, must be able to read your papers and reach the exact same conclusion. No guesswork. Every conclusion in the audit report must be traceable back to something in the papers. Responding to fraud. What if you find signs of fraud during an audit? You are not the fraud police, but you have a professional obligation, due professional care, which means you cannot ignore red flags. Step 1. Investigate first. Before you say anything, gather more evidence and confirm the facts. Raising an alert based on misunderstanding damages your credibility. Step 2. Report to a senior uninvolved authority. The key word is uninvolved. If we report to someone who's part of the problem, the fraud gets buried. Step 3. If management itself is involved, the normal reporting chain is compromised. Bypass it entirely and go directly to the audit committee, which sits outside the management hierarchy. Always go to the highest uninvolved authority. That's the rule. Let's wrap up section 5. Treat every audit like a project. Plan it, execute it, and deliver it within scope and deadline. Scope creep is the biggest risk. Any expansion requires formal approval, no exceptions. Run compliance tests first. Strong controls mean less substantive testing. Weak controls, test everything. Working papers must be complete enough for another auditor to reproduce your conclusions. If it isn't documented, it didn't happen. Fraud found? Investigate first, then report to the highest uninvolved authority, up to the audit committee if needed. Alright, that's it for section 5. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.